All right, welcome back to Morning Live. And as I told you earlier before we took a break, you want to look at what our theaters have in store for us. And this time round, they're back in studio and they'll be presenting to us The Impervious. Now, this one of the plays that actually, from what I've read, from the synopsis, the brief one I've read, is actually very emotional because now the word impervious just means there's no porousness in any way that indeed any liquid can pass by. Let's just look at the trailer we have for you. Impervious indeed. In studio, I'm joined by Mbeki Mwalimu, of course, the director and actor. Of course, one of the actors will be featuring on that interesting play. That is Maure Bilal, who will be now taking us through the conversation, giving us the synopsis, what you need to do, how you can attend to watch these, because they've been doing an amazing job. I managed to go to the previous one, but I was late. But still, this time round, I'll actually make it. Mbeki Mwalimu, good morning.
Good morning. I had something in my throat.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Yeah?
Yeah, good stuff you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Bwana
you.
Bilal.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Karibu Switch TV bana.
Shukran.
Karibu sana.
Shukran.
Yes, Impervious. Wow, another one. Like you guys, I don't know who's scripting this, back to back, back to back. Yeah,
This one
Impervious.
is scripted by someone you want to watch.
Okay.
Scripted by Jackson Biko,
Wow, wow.
aka
Wow.
Biko Zulu.
Wow, amazing,
Yes.
amazing,
And so
amazing.
if you're a fan of Biko, and he seems to have a cult
Yeah.
following,
Yeah.
he writes beautifully.
Wow.
He writes ish. Take me back to the read through. The first day we read his
Yeah,
words.
yeah.
For a minute, people were quiet for 5 minutes. Nobody
Wow.
was talking.
Yeah. I was seeing some clips by Mwikali. You guys were rehearsing, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. That was amazing because the flow, the linguistic also nature about it. Wow, amazing, amazing.
yes, it
So,
is.
Impervious. Tell us
Yes.
more about it.
Impervious is a very simple story about a lady called Jamila who is on her deathbed and she has very limited time to live. And then there's several, so she's sent to this place to go die peacefully.
Okay.
But she's not dying as peacefully as everybody around her thinks she should be dying as peacefully. We all seem to think when it's your last days on earth, this is how you should be living. This is what your fears should be. These are what your fears should be. These are what is expected of you.
Yeah.
She's defying those odds. She is impervious to
Wow.
death.
Wow.
This is what impervious
Nothing is
about.
porous.
That-
Nothing is porous.
You
Okay.
can't get through to her in that
Yeah.
way.
Bilal, so your functions, man, your functions. Yeah, I've seen the trailer. Very brief. It's kind of with this suspense. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So maybe tell us about your role and everything.
I play a priest. Don't mind the hair.
I was about to ask that. Hey.
Radical times, yeah.
Okay, radical.
True,
Sure.
true.
But if you come for the play, you might just see me in
Yeah.
a different
okay.
light.
Okay.
So I play a priest who is tasked with the duty to prepare Jamila's soul
Okay.
for the hereafter.
Wow.
So his work here, Jamila has been given a short time to live. So everyone thinks all this is going to take a short time. But then, being the person she is, her spirit defies everything. And so she lives much longer than everyone else expected.
Wow.
The
Yeah.
doctors, everyone. So for the priest, once his godly duty of preparing her soul is extended, other things start coming into play,
Yeah.
which we will not reveal now.
Didn't.
Yeah. So he becomes much
Wow.
more than just a spiritual guide for Jamila
Yeah.
in this her last days.
Wow, it's already a trailer. Like you want to reveal what it's kind of now. There's an attachment now. I'm feeling like, wow, she didn't die. And
We can't reveal
We
that.
can't reveal that.
We're not going to tell you whether she
did
died
she
or
fall,
not.
like she fell in love with the priest?
I don't,
What's
we can't
happening?
tell you. We can't tell
Okay,
you.
okay.
It's
But
not
then-
only the priest in
and
the
then,
play.
yes, there's several people there's several actors also. There's a therapist. Because I think, you condition
Her her
her
soul.
soul
Okay.
for the thereafter.
Okay.
There's a therapist who conditions her mind.
Wow.
Because that's generally what, when you're about to die, this is what you're told. You have to be in the proper state of mind.
Okay.
The time you accept, yada, yada, yada.
Wait.
And then, of course, there are other people who work
Okay.
where she's
Okay.
gone to,
Okay.
where she's been sent to go die. There's so many other people that she interacts with that actually change the way she views things, the way she reacts to things. And that's why everybody is wondering, wait, you had a few days to live. You've lived this far. Things are changing. These are not things that, it's not the same thing. It's not what we thought it was. It's not the norm. It's not how normal people pass on. I think that's and it has an interesting twist at the end.
Demystifying how people die. Now, you see, sometimes we always take it as a struggle. Like, oh my God, my soul is leaving me. People kind of gasping in the last kind of air. Now, look at this setup. The suspense itself. Of course, you can't tell us the whole story. It looks interesting, but look at the suspense itself. The priest, the guy who like maybe conditions her mind. Sorry, her mind. Do you think you're trying to demystify how death is now perceived in society? What is your idea in terms of just making this out there?
It's not necessarily demystifying death. I think we, as Africans, we rarely talk about death. It's actually a taboo, to talk about death. But unfortunately, art should be a reflection, not unfortunately, fortunately, art should be a reflection of us, of our society, of what we do every other day. And every other day, people are dying. Sadly, it's not what you look forward to. But we need to be able to talk about it, and not just for the people dying, but the people who surround them. Because there's a now and there's a tomorrow.
Sure.
And so if you die, what is that tomorrow for somebody else who's around you, for somebody else you're working with, for your family, for whoever? And then again, maybe it's not as scary as we think it is. You know, that when you're told, oh yeah, you've got 24 hours to live, it may not be as scary as sometimes we think, oh my God, goodness, the world has to stop and let's do and let's run around for. Maybe not. Maybe just take a chill pill.
Interesting.
Maybe just calm down.
Interesting.
Chill.
Interesting. Now, some people might be wondering, Bilal, that you know, actors, you take quite some time to now grasp the script. But you see, you don't have to go word by word. You have to go in the context. Maybe for someone who's wondering out there, you guys have been having like just a span of I think 2 months. Another play comes in.
Yes.
Like you know, mtu anashangaa, so amekram script zote ama what's happening. Maybe you can tell us about the techniques.
About that, about getting, well, you could have a play where it's a full script. You know, every word is written down. Then you could have a play where you're working with situations. Now, for a play where you have lines, the writer has taken time to sit, to go through whatever process he or she has gone through to come up with those lines. It's only fair. We have a phrase that I learned from one of the actors I've worked with, Wanji Komboro, when I was starting out. Honor the author. You know, before you go around changing,
don't try change so much.
Before you go around changing, first of all, understand. You cannot change what you do not understand. So it helps. It really helps to get your lines word for word fast, so that when now you have gotten into your role, into your character, and then you get to now change things according to the character, not according to me, Bilal, the way I feel. It has to be to align with my character and also with the other characters. I might be changing my lines, kumbe they are affecting a lot of what the other person is.
And I like what the coach told us the other day, one of the most brilliant directors we have in this country, Carol Lodongo. She told me, there's a reason it's called written by, because these are their words. So be very careful as you're altering somebody's work, because in some cases actually out there, if you alter anything, they will not say, don't credit, because those are not their words. People have gone to school. This is a skill. This is something. So you cannot
push some agenda.
You cannot say this is written by Mbeki when it's written by 17 other people. There are people who you alter that without their permission. Do not credit them. You cannot put their names. And so I like that. Honor the author.
That's true. That's true. Now back to basics. It seems like you guys are really have an agenda this year.
We are on fire.
You're on fire.
It's
like, hey, free fall.
Yes, we are sorry.
Impervious. What next now? Like you guys have been doing amazing.
What next? Oh, we have something. What I will tell you. Will not tell you. Oh, we have something interesting.
Okay.
That is coming up.
After
in
Imperious.
July.
In July.
In July.
Wow,
It's
wow,
well
amazing,
written.
Amazing.
It's a collaboration of two amazing actors. One is Bilal Mwaura.
Okay.
Yours truly here.
Okay.
Nick Ndeda.
Wow.
And came up with an amazing
Mr. Nick
script.
Ndeda.
Yeah.
My brother.
Yeah, Nick
Anyway,
yes.
looking at even the theater art, you know, sometimes we tell people that you cannot transfer these skills on stage to TV. Trust me, TV has a kind of a camera has this frame. You cannot just shout and slap someone now. that handle kind of, you know what I mean? Eh?
Yeah.
The dynamics now. Some people always want to kind of. We talked about it some time back.
Yeah.
They want to jump to the deepest end. Chap. Like for someone who's watching right now and wants to join back to basics, I understand you guys are tight. You're right now, like you know what you're doing. You used actually
We are family.
you are used to each other, but now is there some just a loophole somewhere can bring in some few guys also to join you guys?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. We usually we have auditions.
Ah, okay.
We actually had auditions before we did the other Bikazulu stories last year. Breathe. We had auditions, and from that audition we got several of the actors that. But then you see, again, an audition is like an interview. Yeah?
Yes,
You cannot
yes.
hold interviews every day in an organization.
Yes.
It's not viable. It's not realistic to do that every other day or every other week.
Okay.
So we do advertise when we have auditions, and then when we get when people apply for these auditions, because now you have their information on your database.
Yeah.
Next time you're casting, you don't have to wonder again. You go back and look for the information you have. You look for the persons you have, the information that you already have, and think, oh, this one can suit this role, and you make that call to them.
Sure.
The other option is sometimes you meet people who actually impress you. They may not come for your audition. Like one of the ladies in this play has never come for an audition. But she talked to me, she came and watched Free Fall. She's watched all our plays. Watched Free Fall, and then she had a very interesting conversation with me. And then later, I go and see something she's done online.
Wow.
And then I call one of the actors, and I'm like, wait, isn't this that girl that who had so much beautiful energy? I love her performance. And I call her and I say, come audition. So there are several ways. You can impress me somehow randomly. We can even meet. Maura has referred so many people to us. Like,
But
kuna mtu,
zero chance.
Not zero chance.
Okay.
It's a 50-50. It could be you've met someone who impresses you, and that's it. They may never have come for an
And
audition.
I also believe the specific roles, the people who fit these specific roles. Not everyone, you need everyone there, is it?
Yes.
But here's the thing: that's when you're starting out. That's the first impression that you think, oh, this one can do this role. With time, I can, without blinking an eye, say Maura will play whatever role I want him to play,
Okay.
including a woman, which he has on stage. TMI.
Okay.
TMI.
Okay.
TMI. You get, so with time you get to know weaknesses and strengths too.
That's scary, man. Anyway, take a short break. You know, some time back also, I auditioned for like a extra. Actually, I was an extra somewhere. Just sitting and eating and the camera passes. That was actually very strange. Anyway, we'll talk about that later when we come back. They'll be telling us more about Impervious and, of course, how you can get your tickets, M-Pesa, everything. You know, at the end of the day, it's all about supporting these guys. You know, they're doing an amazing job. And as I told you earlier, this thing is not easy. The time absorbing the script, just making sure these people understand what you have to push there, it's not an easy task. So we'll be coming back in a few. Stay tuned to Morning Live. Back to Morning Live. Impervious, a very, very interesting synopsis we've been given, but I still feel I need to know more about it, because now they're telling us this a woman was actually dying, and the priest was to prepare her soul for the transition to someone else, now to guide her mind for the transition, and now apparently she survived. They didn't expect her to survive, and from there, no one knows now. It's up to you now to go, of course, and find out what really happened. I still feel like there's something happened. I can give it a guess. Maybe she fell in love with the priest. I don't know. Or maybe what happened? She kind of, maybe, give it a guess.
That's twisted.
That's twisted, eh?
I fell in love with the priest.
You never know. This is my movie. I've seen my pet Things happen. Anyway, Becky.
Yes.
So, The idea of impervious is very strong. As much as I don't want you to release everything, I still feel like you need to give us more flesh.
more?
Yeah, yeah. So, but look at the ending also. The moral, societal mirror that indeed you want to portray out there. What do you think will the whole thing have to the society? Not revealing what the play is all about, but look at the bigger picture.
I think it gets the society thinking, and thinking outside the box, not just thinking outside the box.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a taboo to talk about death.
Yes.
In Africa generally. But let's talk about it. Let's address it. Let's address our feelings towards it. Let's address our feelings if you're the person affected, or you're the person dying, or you're the person surrounding these people in this particular space. I'm hoping we spike conversations about what happens. And I don't want to say what really happens, but something very interesting happens in the play with Jamila, the lady who's dying, because of all these interactions. Because there's something else that happens. Because she's dying, she wants to donate her heart to somebody.
Wow.
People have chosen for her who they think the heart deserves to have her heart. But she's of a different opinion. And so these are things we don't talk about. We don't talk about in Kenya specifically. Sana we don't say, if I'm dying, if for example, if my system was shutting down, but my organs are still viable, they can be used by somebody else, maybe I would like them to go to so-and-so. We don't talk about that. And we don't talk about what it means to that person giving or that person receiving. Because I mean, you're gone. Uzitumi tena huko. You don't need them 6 feet under, you know. And this is a conversation we'd like to have. Not in a scary way. Not in a scary way, because they're first of all, Jamila, and I think if you read the synopsis, it says, Jamila speaks sarcasm fluently. So there's a lot of humor, despite the fact that she's on her deathbed. This Kamama is defiant, like Maura was saying. Is defiant and is defiant in humor and in her mannerisms, and she's full of life. And you're thinking, maybe dying is not so scary, it's not so bad, it's not so. And maybe before you die, you can do one extra thing, and maybe it may not be that bad if you approach it from this angle for everybody else involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is interesting. Now, the demeanor you're kind of presenting as a priest, you have to compose yourself. I know as an artist, you've done so much on stage, but this time around, was it the first time you're being a priest?
Yeah, it's the first time I'm being a priest.
Wow. So maybe this time around, I know, camouflaging, just trying to compose yourself. You know how priests are cool, eh? How priests talk. There's this flow. There's this kind of a voice that you have to kind of depict as a priest, man.
Yeah.
How was it for you, man?
I have to say, for me, this has been one of my hardest roles to get into, because it's really very far removed from who I am as a person, even my religious beliefs. You know.
No, he's Muslim.
So,
oh, is it?
Yes.
Interesting. In fact, it's even.
You seen the?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, interesting. So for me as a Muslim to play
a priest,
and this is not just a priest. This is a priest who has gone to school and studied theology, and you know is really into. And
he
that's
has
all
spiritual
he knows.
facts, right, and everything.
And that's all he knows actually. Our priest is someone who has dedicated his life to God 100%. You know? And also when it comes to matters of love, our priest is like
Kapaya.
No.
Hayuko.
Okay.
So to identify and empathize with this priest, it has really taken me time, but I am glad that we rehearse in an atmosphere of love, so it's easy to get into it and get help from everyone around you. So it's been interesting, but that's what makes it beautiful at the end of the day. When you look back and connect the dots and see how far you've come in knitting your character together.
It's true that. Wow, amazing. Looking at this journey, you know, scripting, the pace at which guys are now trying to get their things together. You know, you guys work with the pace. Like by this day, at least we have this target. Now, is this situation whereby you guys are like, oh my God, this person is so slow, man. Hey, we need to work out, man. Like, look, he's laughing.
It happens a lot. But there's something I'm learning, and I'm learning. I'm being taught by my actors actually. There's something I'm learning. the journey is more important than actually the final product. I know we always say it's the final product, but I feel like the journey is more important than a final product because the journey dictates the final product. And so you're not in a hurry. We're never in a, there are times I go like, oh goodness, people, next week. And then something happens a day before, like yesterday we had such an amazing rehearsals, goodness. Nobody wanted to go home. Like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we're still there. Just floating in this amazing energy.
I can imagine the sacrifice. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
It was, and we had to tell each other, yo, we got Switch TV in the morning, so can we go home? Can we go home and you know, get rest? Yes, you feel that sometimes you're lagging behind, not because of necessarily an actor. It could be an actor. It could be that a process yake leo ina take a bit of time, but you don't harakisha them. That's the other thing. Usikwe in a hurry kusema, get your lines quickly to endange.
It's true.
The process for me is more important, and when it's done with love and in this family setup, that's the other thing I'm learning. It when you look back, it literally the product is magical. Okay. So for me, I've sometimes you come to rehearsals, you're thinking, hatusongi.
Yeah, it's true.
When I look back, I'm like, that day that we were not songaing, we were jengaing ourselves. We were laying a foundation so strong that right now we can confidently say, you have to watch Impervious.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
So we have
like,
this moment.
Even you said today you're going on stage, guys are ready for you.
Actually, as of yesterday, I was like, when I went home and I remember telling them, I don't want to see this. Yeah. Well, bring it on. Lakini bring it on.
Okay.
Bring it on. But yes, it's not at automatically week 1, week 2, week 3, let's perform. Sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Sometimes, you know, there's so many things that come in the way.
It's true that.
Sometimes actors may not be available. Sometimes, I mean, normal things happen. For example, maybe they're not well. And you have to take a few days. So that can lag you behind. So many things.
Things happen.
Respect that process. I think that's the one thing I'm learning. And especially the last 3 productions.
Wow. Respect it and trust it.
Trust it.
Even when you feel you're not moving, trust that where you're going, you will go.
Amazing.
But no, that has got to happen with the people around you.
Yes.
You cannot just walk in randomly and say, now we're trusting. No. It's the things that you've created with the people around you, I think.
I believe you guys need to be friends first.
I think even if you're not a friend, I feel whenever people come back to basics,
you will fit in.
Somehow we embrace you. There's a lady called Linda.
What happened?
We don't even know what she's doing in this play, but she's part of us. We own her.
We don't want her
and we don't want her to go
Linda,
anywhere. And she has no role. Like you get. She walked in and we're like, we smile. And you smile, and here we are, and we're having Impervious with her.
Okay. Now, venue, charges, M-Pesa till number, everything. How can guys get the tickets? Please give us the details.
You want to do that?
And maybe Kavai, where you are, maybe you can just roll the trailer. You can just freeze the till number, the details. Yeah, sure. Yeah, can you tell us more
So
about
this is happening at Alliance. Alliance on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. This is this coming Friday, Kesho Kutwa, Friday. And please note, it would be nice if you came for the first opening night, because we are having a red carpet.
Wow.
We are glamming it up. Our opening night is special.
Wow.
We are dressing up in red carpet. We're having media cover this event. We're having a grand opening night. Wow. This is on the 10th at 6 p.m. That's the first opening night. So if you're free, come through at least earlier. The show is at 6. Come in from 4, get to interact with the cast, get to take pictures, get to do all this. There might be a bit of bitings here and there, and love before the show. So that's the opening night, and it shows at 6, Friday at 6 p.m. and at 8 p.m. On Saturday it shows at 3 p.m. and at 6 p.m. On Sunday also at 3 p.m. and at 6 p.m. If you get your ticket today,
from 3 p.m. to what time?
3 to 5. It's just a 2-hour show. It's actually 1 hour 45 minutes. Yeah.
All right.
If you get your tickets in advance, it's 1,000 bob. If you get it on Friday, from Friday onwards, it will be 1,200 shillings. Yes.
I will be there.
Please till number. Oh, the till number. Till number is 588 379.
588
379. Yes.
Good stuff.
Lipa, it goes back to basics. That's what the measure. We are. Yeah. It's too early. It's too early. This interview is too early. That's what I'm sure.
Don't worry, but maybe looking at that, of course, Impervious, you can see on the screen at Alliance Française. Alliance Française?
Alliance Française.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, till number you can see on the screen.
The till number is 588
379. Of course, 1,000 bob in advance, 1,200 at the door, and 800 students. Good stuff.
Oh yeah, students. Yeah, we considered a lot of students were like, wewe akakabe, you know, and so we said let's do that, and especially students of theatre are most welcome. because of
they're learning also.
they're
some
learning.
of the
It's
dynamics
a
of
practical.
theatre.
They get to
Amazing.
interact with the directors and the crew and
Amazing.
everybody else,
Amazing.
and it's quite.
Impervious,
It's-
please make your way.
Yes.
Of course, this will be very interesting.
And
I
this
will
one-
be there.
Please be there. And
I
this
will be
one,
there.
because like you said, Biko has a cult following.
Okay.
Get your ticket in advance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because as you were looking at the charts yesterday,
Okay.
yeah, just reserve your ticket in
Okay,
advance.
today.
So that you don't
I'll do
miss
it
out.
today.
Please reserve your ticket.
I'll do it today.
Yeah.
I'll come with a +1 actually.
Yeah.
My brother.
Aha.
Now, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Really appreciate
I will be at
your
the door
send.
to make sure it's your brother.
Yeah, my small bro, wherever he is. Pascal,
Yeah,
we're going to
yeah.
watch this thing.
Oh, fantastic.
Anyway,
Cool.
yeah. So, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having
you.
us.
And Becky, always a pleasure meeting you guys. And I believe in the next 2 months, you'll be back here again. Tell us more about your next
I
thing.
like that. I
Yeah.
like that. Thank you. That
Sure,
means
sure.
a lot because
always
it's
promoting theatre.
yeah.
Trust me, this is a big thing. It has nurtured so many people.
Yeah.
Expressing the people who are very, very like down low. They couldn't express themselves.
Yeah.
Siku hizi watu wanaongea bana,
Wanaongea.
panga braha.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
theatre gives you confidence to,
Yeah.
to stand in front of people. And
Amazing.
it gives you confidence to, because when you're rehearsing, you're not just saying,
Yeah.
if the play is called impervious, you will Google what impervious means. And so when you say impervious, you say it with a lot of authority.
Yes.
Theatre gives you an opportunity. I always tell them, I don't talk the way I used to talk before.
Yeah.
With my cow accent, someone honestly. Yeah.
The honest.
The honest
Anyway, even
guys.
you just have that problem. Thank you so much.